Was Devon really getting pinned by Porkchop, or is he just trying to get him another match at East versus West? Hello arm wrestling fans, in today's video we are going to discuss Jerry versus Vitaly Laletin, David Dadikyan doing really heavy pull-ups, Valera versus Vitaly practice pull, Devon versus Porkchop practice pull, then finally East versus West 11 all matches, and then Evgeny Prudnik, Alijan Muratov and Engin terzi interview highlights. When Vitaly Laletin was defeated by Dave Chaffee's flop press, I immediately messaged Jerry saying that bro, you should immediately try to get a match against Vitaly Laletin. I know Dave's style was different. He accessed his press by first engaging with side pressure and top roll, and Jerry never does that. But still, if somehow Jerry can manage to get Vitaly into the defensive top roll position, I think it's over for Vitaly. And then it will be a really good stylistic matchup for Jerry. But the question is, can Jerry get into that position? It is going to be difficult, and that's why I think it's going to be an amazing match. Jerry said, I would like to go against Vitaly. Stylistically, I like the way Vitaly pulls, and I think it gives me a huge advantage. We saw Dave Chaffee beat him with my move. Now let him see me do my move. So Jerry is sounding really confident going into this match. Not that it is happening, but if I make a video about it, if more people talk about it, maybe this thing is going to get into the ears of the promoters and finally we can see this amazing match. But before that, we want Jerry versus Denis Siplenkov. We all know that David Dadikyan is recovering from the left arm injury. He broke it against Evgeny Prudnik but still kept on fighting. What a warrior. So he won't be competing for next 2 years with the left arm. But he said all he can do with the left arm right now is pull-ups. And he's doing them with insanely heavy weights. 75 kilos to be precise, with fully cupped wrist. To be honest, I think pulling yourself up with 75 kilos when you're built like Dadikyan is not that impressive feat of strength. But doing that while not letting your wrist getting straightened out is really impressive. So the wrist cupping part is insane here. And I said that it's not probably that impressive because at one point of time, I was also able to do the same exercise with 50 kilos. So Dadikyan doing that with 75, I know he's heavier, but still it's kind of manageable for that level athlete. Valera versus Vitaly practice pull. Well, to be honest, there isn't much in this practice pull. They're not even pulling at all, like they're not going hard. But I use this clip to just kind of appreciate this athlete Valera. He's like 3.5 years into the sport with serious training and he already gave Lars Robacken hell. Just think about it. He gave Lars a much better match than the New Zealand #1 champion Matevarangi Hetamoris. And Hetamoris beat Ryan Bowen dominantly. So that's how strong Valera is. He gave Lars a much better match than Matt Mask did a decade ago. So he should be appreciated more. I'm not sure why we are not talking about him enough, because in one match he showed us cupping strength, hooking power, top roll, king's move, flop press, tricep press, everything. He lost because he didn't have a good enough defense against a flop press, but I'm quite sure he's already working on that. Devon Larratt versus Porkchop. So Devon is getting pinned and people are sarcastically saying that Porkchop is the #1 arm wrestler in the world in Levan's absence now. Well, obviously that isn't the case, and we don't know if Devon pulled 50 guys before that, 30 guys, 100 guys. So clearly looks like Devon was tired, but that's not the important part. Devon getting pinned by Porkchop is nothing that excites me because I know Devon was tired before that. Well, I don't know, but I can guess easily. But it will be interesting to see Devon's strategy moving forward. In this clip, he's basically practicing his outside move. So we can detect a pattern from the upcoming practice pulls from Devon if he's trying to go fully outside against Levan, or will he just think about it in that little one case scenario where Devon thinks about hooking Levan. He tried doing that in round 2 against Levan even before his bicep got injured. But before the go, he changed his plan and then his bicep tore. After that, he had no other option but to try to hook Levan, which was never going to work. But can a fresh Devon hook Levan Saginashvili? That seems almost impossible. Or is Devon trying to get a flop press, trying to refine his flop press, especially after seeing the Hermes Gasparini match? Devon's arm may not be as strong as Hermes to pull off that flop press, but if somehow Devon can get into that move on his offensive side, then Devon may be able to press him down. But 99% option for Devon is only going to be a top roll, and that too a king's move version of a top roll. So Engin terzi uploaded the full match list of East versus West 11. Nurdolat Aidarkhan versus Vala Echikiti. Then we have Petrenko versus Barboza. Amazing match. Robbie Topi versus Aymeric Predins. Then Paul Lin, Irakli Zirakashvili, Wagner Bortolato, Matt Mask, Zurab Tavbaridze, Artem Tainov, Tutbaridze versus Zok. Young Tutbaridze, 19 years old. I think he's in big trouble against Oleg Zok. Mindaugas Terzidas versus Daniel Prokopchuk. Mayrov versus David Samushia. Masic versus Matyushenko. Kostadinov versus Brzenk. Prudnik versus Muratov. Then the two main events. Actually, Engin asked us who we think should be the main event, and mostly people voted for Artyom Morozov and Alex Kurdecha. And before that, we have Todd Hutchings versus David Dadikyan. Amazing card. 8 title matches. That's insane. So finally, let's talk about the Evgeny Prudnik and Alijan Muratov interview on Engin's channel. Prudnik as of now still needs to lose 3 kilos because he's weighing 108. Alijan Muratov is the heaviest that he has ever been at 104 kilos, and they both respect each other's level. Prudnik said that Alijan is going to be more dangerous than Dadikyan because he has the same power but more endurance. Prudnik is in better form now because he got more time to train for this match compared to the previous one against David Dadikyan. His right arm is also healing up. Last time we saw him compete against Devon Larratt, the match that he lost 3-0, but it was a good match, and he got re-injured in that match. Since then, he's been taking a break. He's back to 80%. So maybe in the next 6 months, we are going to see Prudnik back on the table once again. Alijan Muratov also has same feelings about Prudnik. He said that he was not surprised to see Prudnik beat Dadikyan, because when he saw Dadikyan lose to Morozov, he kind of analyzed that Dadikyan is beatable because Alijan in the past has practiced with Artyom Morozov. In fact, he even won a tournament in the overalls where Morozov got knocked off before the finals. And finally, we have a John Brzenk qualifier. So John is going to organize a qualifier for East versus West in Phoenix, Arizona on March 2nd next year. Dustin Allen and Greg Brown are going to help John organize that event. Ryan Bowen was saying in that podcast that what if I qualify? It will be an interesting situation. Of course, he's not going to get an invite to East versus West, even if he wins, but it will be fine to see him winning that tournament. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe. And no, Ryan is not going to compete there. It was just a joke. Thanks, guys.